Mama shoulda named me Ali.
I'm the greatest.
Mama shoulda named me Ali.
I'm the greatest.
Can't be underrated when you come the greatest. Just a young nigga destined for his greatness.
Hello.
How are you this week? Welcome back.
This is our 30th episode.
Woohoo!
30th episode of It's On Site. We are so excited. We remember when we first started out, we were like, oh my God, what is this going to be like? We just want to talk to the people. We just want to talk to the people. And now y'all like our good girlfriends.
Yep, 30 weeks in.
So we're going to jump right into it. And talk about some things. We're going to get right into everything. We're not going to stall. We're not going to delay. And then we have a couple of words at the end of the show from a special guest, Richard Lomax, because you guys love him. And he had to beg us to be able to come back and weigh in on some things. So we're going to let him do that. So,
but right before we get started, make sure that you guys subscribe to our iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. It's on site.
Most importantly, the YouTube channel.
Yes, you can click
What's
the
the
link.
YouTube address?
It's you can click the link in my bio.
Okay.
It's on site TV for YouTube.
So in case you miss an episode or anything, you can watch it later on if you're not available. So anyway, there's a lot been going on the past, I would say, 2 weeks of Fashion Week. The past week and a half of Fashion Week. Every day it's been, so exciting.
Yes.
Some really fun and amazing things mixed with some not so great things. So on a good hand, I saw that Drake reconciled with Meek Mill.
Yes, which is amazing. I think that was overdue.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so after rubbing eyes in disbelief, fans witnessed that Meek and Drake made amends after a 3-year feud. I didn't even realize that it had been 3 years that they were beefing with each other. It seemed like it was just last summer.
Seriously. It's like a cancer when you beef with somebody. It just goes on so fast, but it can eat you away and be harmful later on.
It's very true. So that was kind of good to see them kind of get that weight off their chest.
It was great for the culture.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times people say that when you are mad at someone and you hold on to something, it takes away from you. When I have an actual problem, I don't know about you, with an individual, which I don't feel like that was their dynamic.
Right.
It was kind of light. It wasn't really that serious. I don't feel any weight on me. I'm just totally fine with them being out of my space.
Right.
Unless there's a quality in that relationship, maybe they really missed each other. They really had something, you know? But I'm looking forward to hearing a song from them.
So
I know they're going to go in.
Definitely.
So shout out to both of them.
Yes.
On a not so positive note, everyone knows that over the Fashion Week, this past few days at the Harper's Bazaar event, Cardi B attempted to attack Nicki Minaj at New York Fashion Week party. The video surfaced of the hip-hop stars getting into a physical altercation, which was very grainy, of course, so you guys don't really know exactly what happened.
Right. A lot of assumptions and rumors floating around.
Right. So I have seen everything, every possible description of what actually happened.
Right.
And of course, because whenever there's a physical situation, it's always going to end up in the court system, and I'm not going to be the person testifying. However, I will be clear that there was only one person who initiated inappropriate activity and behavior.
Right.
And I don't feel like it was warranted. That's the big thing. See, everyone looks at my personal situation where they said to me and online, you had a fight on the red carpet at Puff's house, so how can you judge?
Right.
I think that the rules change when you have had some type of physical history with a person. Doesn't make it right, okay? It doesn't mean it's okay that you did it. It just means that your temper flares a little different. If we all were allowed to go around physically fighting people for liking comments that we didn't agree with, we would literally be fighting every single person.
Exactly.
My opinion is that there's a lot of biasness, if that's even a word, forgive me if it's not, when it comes to certain individuals. I feel when there's a fan favorite, for lack of better terms, there are a lot of excuses made for certain behavior. So if everyone loves this particular individual, it's kind of like, well, then you shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. But when you're not a fan of that person, or you feel like they've done other things that you don't like, then it's just like, no, I don't think so. God forbid Nicki Minaj had physically attacked anybody. She would be dragged. There would be no excuses made. They could have talked about you. You guys have to take him because we know the kid to go. You guys have talked about her family. You guys have disrespected her in every possible way. And there's never, ever, ever any excuses made for anything because she's the bad guy, you know? So
instead of looking at it as right is right and wrong is wrong, period. It doesn't matter who the person is in any situation. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And no one is the judge or the jury, you know, to determine on who's right and who's wrong. But like you guys,
right. And I think that in this case, it was super duper whack, and there's only one person that you can blame for it. You can't blame anybody else, you know? Like you can't, there's one person, the person who initiated it, and that's it. No one else, because no one is ever going to not defend themselves.
Right.
You cannot ever think that someone is wrong for defending themselves. No. I'm not gonna let nothing happen back to you.
Right.
No, because I don't want to be a part of this. No, when you run up on somebody, you get everything that your hand calls for when you run up on someone, and that's just what it is. I don't care if you guys don't like it, if you don't agree. It is what it is. And if it was your mother, your father, your child, your friend, or even yourself, you would absolutely have the same observation and the same opinion about it. So, hold on a second.
Exactly. I agree.
So, yeah.
And anybody that does allow somebody to run up on their friend, their mom, their dad, and their self, please don't be around people who are loyal to you, because it's not a good situation. Like, how could you allow someone to come up to you and disrespect you or disrespect someone that you're with if you have the ability to help protect yourself or them?
And what's even funnier to me about the viewers, if you will, had no one defended Nicki, you guys would have dragged. When I say drag the person or the people that were standing around her that would have allowed that to happen, you guys would have been like, what kind of team do you got? What kind of friends do you guys have? So it's like, no matter what you do, you can't win. You're going to have something to say about every single thing. I actually, Brooke and I even said today that after today, we have no intentions. You never know what's going to come up when you're doing an interview or an appearance, but we have no intentions on continuing to talk about the situation. But what does trouble me is that when people are giving recaps or saying what actually happened that wasn't actually there. Like, how are you hosting a show, anybody, or speaking in a public forum and saying this is what happened and this is what didn't happen?
How about say at least allegedly?
Right.
You know, or I read somewhere, or somebody told me, because if you weren't there, you can't say that this is what happened for a fact. Period.
Absolutely. I'm with that. So we're tired of it, but in my opinion, I do believe that this is the beginning of something that's going to be ongoing for a long time. And it is what it is, you know. We don't encourage it. We're not being ratchet ghetto girls. We're women. We're bosses. We're businesswomen. We're wives. Brooke is a mother, and that's not what our intentions are. But
we are just grown, and you know, we hate that things sometimes have to resort to physical violence. But in some cases, in some instances, that's what it comes to, especially if someone is being irrational and not able to handle themselves as an adult to have a conversation. So then it goes the opposite way. But no one is walking around and looking for trouble. Like, that's whack. And for people that do that, you're whack. Like, that's so whack. Like, no one wants to start trouble. You guys never hear, oh, Brooke is over here starting this with this person or starting that with this person, or Rob. Like, no one's starting anything. But if you come and bring a problem, then I'm going to help to try to solve it the best of my ability, however it goes.
And it doesn't go based on what you guys think is fair or not. There's no rules in war. Okay, that's just the way I was raised. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it. There are no rules in war. There's no such thing as, no, you could do that, but you can't do this. That's not how it works. is may the best man win. Exactly. And that's just what it is. Stay on your toes, stay on point, and that's just it. Right. Okay? You ain't got to agree with it. You don't got to like it, but this is just what it is. Exactly. So stop me this. Ghetto Boys. What do you think about Nicki calling the young lady who previously accused give me your take on that situation.
So yesterday was Queen's Radio. So you guys know Nicki has Queen Radio on Apple Music, and we actually were guests of hers yesterday on her radio show, and she did address some things, that everyone's been reading this in the news. So she did address a few things on radio about the young lady who, attempted to attack her. And I just
attack her online, right?
No, attack her. This is who tried to attack her at New York Fashion Week.
Oh yeah, but I was talking about the girl that we called on the phone.
Right. Okay. I'm getting to that. Oh, okay, I feel like the reason why Nicki did that is because she's defending herself. Mm-hmm. And on top of her defending herself, it's kind of like
showing character,
not character, and you the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? You saying that I did one thing that you didn't like, and this is your reason for being aggressive towards me, but in the same hand, the same breath, you doing the exact same thing, or have done the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. And Nicki really, as everyone knows, really never comes out to defend herself about things that are in the news.
Oh, just kind of my goodness. Speaking of that, that is so true. Mm-hmm. The only reason... Right? This is so crazy. You guys know for years and years that Nicki wouldn't speak on things because when you do reach a certain plateau of success, you are not expected to address things that go on. You're expected to take the high road and to Beyonce the whole entire situation. Right. And although career-wise, I would say fame-wise, I'm nowhere have the success of Beyonce or Nicki Minaj. I have that same mindset when it comes to not publicly sharing. Right. And what that does, believe it or not, is it detaches the people from you. It makes the everyday people feel like you don't have anything in common with them. It makes them feel like you're not relatable. Mm-hmm. And what it does is it causes them to take the side of other people because they don't know your perspective on things. Right. So when things would happen with me, I wouldn't publicly address it. Not even to get too deep in this, even with the relationship between Remy and I didn't speak publicly on it. You guys just saw friendship, and then you saw that we weren't friends anymore.
And then you made your own assumptions.
So being quiet kind of puts you in a less fortunate.
It does, because it makes the people
think disadvantage. It puts you at a disadvantage.
It makes the people think that you're guilty.
Right.
It makes them automatically, whatever their assumption is, it makes it their truth.
Right.
And if one person says something and the other person doesn't, then that means that what the first person said is telling the truth. Guess what, guys? It does not mean that.
Right. Sometimes people just don't speak publicly on things. Or sometimes people feel like, you know what, it's not even worth it. It's like
I'm not going to give this.
I'm not going to give that. I'm not going to give that.
Legs. If I give your assumptions or what this other person is saying about me, these accusations, what they're saying, I give it legs. It gets to walk around and do whatever it wants to do, and everybody gets a chance to walk with it and add on to the negativity. So why talk about it?
So with that being said, we called the young lady yesterday. Nicki called her and spoke to her just to give her an opportunity to speak her truth and to explain how she felt and what was said to her.
Right.
Okay?
And I don't know why anyone would be mad about that. You guys
However,
want to hear the truth,
a lot of people in the comments still found a way
to bash Nicki,
to find flaw in her, in the person who did nothing. That's what it's like. Your
Nicki,
mama,
and in the woman who confessed about
sending her threats, telling her that they're actually sending her messages saying to her that it's good that her baby. Like when you guys like somebody or you feel like they're the underdog, you feel like that's the person you connect to, you will make all type of excuses for any type of behavior. But God forbid we do that. It's like, oh my God, you're the worst person in the world. You should have put up a disclaimer that said X, Y, and Z. Like it is just it's just unfair. So when you get to a point where we are, where you no longer care, like you don't actually care, because no matter what, you're gonna find something wrong. So we have to live in our own happiness and our own life and do what we're doing. Like I was explaining to you guys yesterday, both of us on Queen Radio, is that we have all had a friendship for several years. It's not a brand new relationship. What is brand new is the amount of time that we spend together.
Right. And what's brand new is what
the
you
public
guys see.
display, the
Exactly.
public display of it. Because there are so
Yes.
many days, when I say days and days, that Brooke and I will lounge on the couch and talk and
Right.
talk and talk and
You
share
guys don't see that?
stories. There are days in a row where we're with Nicki. I'm talking about days and days and days, and we're not taking photo ops.
Right.
We're not. Sometimes we're lounging. We're not in hair and makeup. We're just chilling.
Right.
But you guys feel like, okay, let me see. I can count this many
You didn't
photos.
see it.
1, 2, 3. You only been with her 4 times.
Right.
You never been to her house.
Exactly.
You don't know her mama. You guys really don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right,
You just
right.
don't know. And
I
that
don't
gets
post
super.
pictures of my mom all the time. Does that mean that me
She
and
ain't
my
in
mom?
your life?
Yeah. Hey,
It's-
what does that have to do with anything?
Right. So, and also, I don't go in and erase comments that I don't agree with. What I will do is when you guys.
Well, I don't erase them, but I block you.
I was gonna say I blocked them,
It erases,
and I blocked them so swiftly that if you guys knew when you come at me, don't get me wrong, I can take criticism.
Right.
I can take constructive criticism, but when I see people repeating the same things over and over and over and over and over,
or just being disgusting,
and just being just rude, the first line I can tell the content of what you're writing by the
Right.
first three sentences. Bitch, let me tell
Right.
you, swipe, delete, like block,
Right.
like it doesn't even take anything. So you've applied all this effort that you should have applied to probably
and
caretaking
it
something
does
that's
not
going
hurt
on.
our
in your,
feelings.
it does.
For the record.
Oh my God.
It's just kind of like I don't want my mom coming on my page reading that ratchet bullshit. Like
Right.
for what?